Hey guys, how you doing? APT Songs here. So I'm coming on here to let you guys know that I have a new parody video dropping tomorrow on Friday. I'm so excited. Right now I'm in the throes of editing. I'm about a third of the way through the editing. So I just kind of want to take a little mini break from that to come on here and discuss about the parody and the importance of connecting with other people. So this is a song that I thought about last month. And once Kamala Harris came on Joe Biden's ticket, I wanted to do it as a political song and a political parody, which I've done before. And I've talked about that on previous videos like this. Okay. So yeah, we put the video together last week. It came out pretty good with all the shots that we got. And so in the course of making this has really been a year for me about learning how to work with others and connect with others. Because for the most part of me being a creator, I've been a solo entity, meaning that I've done all my projects. I won't say solo because I've definitely had help at times with, like, my friend Joe. He's a camera person. He's helped film some of the stuff that I've done. But in terms of like my typical process of putting stuff together, it's usually I have an idea, I write it up myself, I either create the music or I try to find an instrumental I can use myself. I film the whole thing myself, and because I got green screen, so I just green screen a lot of stuff, or I'll film stuff around the neighborhood or whatnot, and then I'll put some stuff together and put it out. And that's been my method of operandi mostly since I've gotten to California. Like I said, I've had help along the way here and there, but most of the ways that I've done my creative stuff has been solo. And so coming into 2020, I really made it a point to focus on working with other people, because I realized that I've been here for 11 years now, and while I've had some successes here and there that I've been grateful for, in terms of being able to scale that success, I haven't been able to do that in part because I'm a solo entity. I don't like really going out and asking people for help or trying to ask people to work with me on things. And so I've pretty much been in my own little bubble, which again, as an introvert, I'm fine with that. But I wanted to try to challenge myself to reach out to others, to work with them on stuff, just to see, for one, what results could come of that. And then also, like, if I could get farther in where I'm at. And so it's been an interesting process this year to work with other people, not just on this song, but on other projects that I've become a part of a team on, which in prior years, I would have been like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to have to deal with, the way people are. I just want to kind of be to myself and do my thing. So this has really been an interesting year in terms of working with others, connecting with teams, and then also realizing that there are people that have ideas outside of my own that are not only great, but are actually beneficial to the projects that I'm working on. So that said, going into writing this particular song parody, I really had it in mind where when I wrote it thinking that I would do the whole song myself, but that it would be nice if I could get somebody else to do the song with me. And so once I finished writing the song up, I tried to imagine myself doing the entire song, and I was like, I just need another person on this song. And so I said, okay, let me reach out. So I reached out to this wonderful actress named Misty Marie, who was on the song, and she agreed to do the song. And lo and behold, she came in, she was able to record. I was able to kind of direct her in terms of how I thought that the part could be done out as a song, but I also let her kind of beat her own creative flow to figure out how to say certain things. And it came out absolutely amazing. And the way that it sounded in my head, it actually sounded even better when she performed it. So I was like, oh, this is good. This is a good idea. So even with that, so that was an example of a connection that we met years ago, and then we've been working on stuff here and there during this past year in particular. And so because I've made that relationship and made that connection, we were able to put a song together that's going to be really, really great. So even with that, though, I was like, my plan honestly was like, she was going to come over, we'll record the song, and then we can just make the video that day. Like, we can just go out in the street and make some stuff. And she brought to my attention, she was like, well, we could, like, take some time and actually make like a real video versus just us being in front of green screen or just being outside. We could, like, really do this up and make it a big thing. And so initially I was like, I really wanted to rush the song out because it's about the election, and I want to make sure that's going to be timely, and I don't want it to wait too long. And then also I worried about if the song that I'm parodying would still be a popular song if we were to delay putting my version out. Spoiler alert, the song is still very, very popular. So, but I decided to listen to that and say, you know what? It's better to put out a product that is like really, really good and has a lot of energy to it and positivity behind it and is able to like really hit when it comes out versus just putting whatever out and then it's like a couple of people see it, it's okay, and then you never hear from it again. And but also was important was that, you know, if it's just me and her on the song, like we're great and all, but in terms of the number of people that'll see it, I don't really have a big Instagram following and a big, well, I have a decent YouTube following for one of my channels, but it's not as big as it could be. And, you know, me pubbing it, the people that like me will watch it, but who's to say that it'll spread farther versus if I work with other people who also have their own connections and their own audience that would then also want to push it out. So I said, okay, let me see what resources I can use to make this happen. So it just so happened that as I was trying to plan the video out, one of my friends I went to school with him to college, he is now an actor in Hollywood as well, and he also opened up his own studio recently, like a studio you can film at. So he had posted this about the studio on Instagram, and I was just like, I looked at the space and was like, that is perfect. This is a perfect space to be able to record in, to make a video. And also, if this video blows up the way I want it to, then it'll be good pub for his studio. So it'll be a win-win where I have a place to do it at that's really good. He'll have a way, he can obviously promote the video because it's going to be using his space. And then also, as the video gets bigger, people will see where it was, because I'm going to put in the video, it was filmed at this studio, and people will hopefully hit that studio up and want to work there as well. But I was like, that's a connection that I made back in college, and we're still, you know, good friends now. So whereas like I was able to reach out and say, hey, like, love to work at your studio, I'll pay you for it, just let me know what it is and what we got to do to bring there, and it was able to happen. So then from that, Misty was able to reach out to friends of hers to be in the video, some of whom have a bigger following than I do. So it's what I'm noticing is as you expand out your universe, especially for a creative, it can be very, very hard to want to expand beyond yourself because you're very much just like, this is my baby and this is what I want to do. But like being able to reach out to people, whether it was somebody on the song, somebody in the studio, somebody filming behind the camera, somebody that's going to be on set being, you know, an extra or a dancer or whatever, like all those connections will hopefully allow for this thing to build up and be bigger. And then on top of that, then another connection I have was I'm working on a show right now. Like I'm a producer of this show that airs every other Wednesday. It's like two Wednesdays out of the month. And so the person I'm working with is in the political spectrum. Like the show that we do is a political show where she talks to people that are trying to, you know, bridge the gap and, you know, talk about political topics. And she's also one that was like, oh, I'd be interested in hearing your song because I know it's a political song and I might be able to help with that as well. So that is now getting the political song that I make into the political realm where ideally it'll get even more eyes than I would have been able to get. And this is all just from making the commitment to be able to learn how to connect better with people, to reach out and to go beyond myself. And so far, that experiment has been paying off dividends, not just for like, you know, the opportunities, but also like really, you know, making true connections and building friendships and stuff like that has been very, very good behind the scenes. Just so where even if this stuff doesn't blow up, I still have people that I enjoy doing stuff with and talking to and hanging out with and working on things with, you know? So, but all that said, I think the song's really good. The video's coming together absolutely amazing. The shots that we got are incredible. We did use some green screen stuff that is going to make this parody match and parallel the video that we're making fun of also. So I won't tell you guys until tomorrow what it is that we're parodying. But needless to say, it's a very, very popular song. And it's got me and Misty on it, and it's going to be a straight banger. It's going to be funny, but I also hope it's going to be something that's going to effectively get people to vote. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So that's what I'm working on right now, and I'm gonna get back to that because I want to make sure this video is out for you tomorrow for you guys to see. So thanks for watching this. Be sure to tell your friends. I don't know what time the video is going to premiere yet, but as soon as I finish the video, I'll be able to get a better gauge of that and post up when it's going to premiere. But it will be sometime tomorrow, September 11th, at some time of day, probably like in the afternoon to like evening time, but it'll be out. All right. So be sure to tell your friends, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm out.